Hey everybody, this is Lexi, and thank you so much for joining me for another session today. The format for this video is going to be a little different from what I've been doing in that I'm kind of just freestyling everything. I made a few points, a few bullets that I want to go over, but it's not going to be quite so scripted. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I have some bullets that I'm going to go over, but I really just want to get in today how I came to the decision to become an artist and to pursue this path as a career. And hopefully from some of the things that I talk about, it gives you some inspiration. It gives you some ideas on how you can develop your artistry and your brand and how it can help you become better. So that's what I hope this video will do anyway. Again, if you have any questions, always feel free to leave comments below and I will answer them directly. Anything you want to know about me as an artist, anything that you want to know that will help you on your journey, always just leave a comment below and I will get to it. And that'll be on, you gotta look for it in future videos. So let's get into it here. I have been singing ever since I was 3 years old, and I've been writing songs since I was 8. And I took piano lessons while I was younger. I did talent shows and I sang national anthems at different sporting events, at different schools that I used to attend. So starting when I was 3 years old, my first performance was actually at my grandparents' church in Georgetown, Delaware. It was a small little church, but it was a cute little performance. I was 3 years old and I sang Amazing Grace for the church. So that was my very first performance. I don't recall too many other things about me singing between then and elementary school, I guess. When I was 8 years old, I started to actually write songs. And from what I can remember, the content wasn't anything serious like I'm writing today, obviously. I mean, what could an 8-year-old have gone through at that point of time in my life? I don't know. But I started writing songs and I started developing, my understanding of the structure of a song and how to write one. And writing has always been a very dominant part in my life, whether it was storytelling, poetry, or writing songs. They all just kind of naturally went together. So, and growing up, I couldn't see myself doing anything that wasn't music related. I played sports growing up, but I don't know, it wasn't really my thing. It was just kind of something to do, something that everyone was expected to do, but I wasn't attracted to musical theater necessarily. I was actually very shy singing in front of people. I didn't even want to sing in front of my friends or my family, but I do remember singing in the garage. And that was a place where I felt like nobody could hear me. So I would actually go in the garage and practice singing different songs. I kept it under wraps for a very long time, probably until about 7th grade is when I really started breaking out of my shell as far as wanting to speak more in general, be more outgoing, and wanting to share my gift with people. I would go into the garage and I would record songs, and I actually released 2 albums in 7th grade. I wish I brought it with me for this video. I'll probably insert a photo somewhere where you can see it. I don't know, yeah, insert here. But wasn't too concerned with quality. I didn't know much about it back then. My main concern was getting an album out, and I remember setting a deadline for myself and everything, and I put so much pressure on myself to get these songs done in a certain time frame so I could sell them to my friends for $5. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. As long as I can remember, music is really the only thing I ever wanted to do. But growing up and watching my top 3 artists who I always call out as my top 3 influences, it is Aaliyah, Beyonce, and Alicia Keys. Growing up, I saw everything that they had to do within the industry, so I knew that being in the industry meant more than just being able to sing. I knew there was a business side to it, marketing, and different factors that went into it. I understood the amount of work it took to go into the music industry. I understood what it meant, I just didn't quite know the path that I would take to get there, if that makes sense. All through middle school and high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, what I wanted to go to college for as far as getting a regular job. I just knew that that's not what I wanted. But I knew my parents wanted me to get, something secure. No one in my family has done music. It's something that's new. And I'm the only one that I know of that is trying my hand at this music industry. I'm going to do it, by the way. It's just going to take some time. It took 4 years to get a college degree. Becoming a superstar like Beyonce is not going to take a few months. I just kind of went through high school in this weird feeling of, I know that I have to pick something, but I don't know what it's going to be because I don't see myself doing this. All I see is music. So I didn't really try to spend my time, necessarily perfecting my craft as far as singing or learning different facets of the industry. I spent my time trying to see what else am I good at and what could I major in college, because that's what's expected, right? But finally in high school, I made the decision that I can't see myself doing anything else. And this was junior year, I think. I was doing everything I needed to do as far as ACT and SAT and taking those tests and make sure I'm good for that. But I finally decided that I was going to go to school for music. I stayed at home for a year to take core classes, basic classes, because I knew I wasn't ready to move out. But I made the decision to go to the Art Institute of Atlanta when I finally decided on a school because they had the best curriculum. It took me roughly 4 years to finish college, so I figured that it would take just as much time, if not more, to break into the industry. So what I did was I took a look at the structure of school, of my college and of high school, and looked at how my school schedule had been broken down, and I made up a little curriculum to success for myself. So now this is where mentality and purpose comes in. I was looking at the amount of work that Beyonce does and how long she's been doing this, and seeing how much work she had to put into it to become what she is today. And I think I broke things down like my singing, that's my instrument, so I need to practice that more. Dancing, that's part of presentation when I'm actually performing for an audience. Speech, like charisma, learning how to talk in front of people and to a camera, how to answer questions and sound intelligent when I'm answering them. I broke it down into being a likable person, and I also broke it down into a final project or a senior project, which would be a project or an EP or an album. So I broke it down into that, and I just really made little steps for myself, tiny manageable goals that I could work towards to get myself to a bigger picture. And it's a lot of stuff. It is a lot, but these are things in my mind that, it's going to take to break into the industry. But another big part of that, I think, was making sure that my mentality is right. So when these people are in these superstar positions, what kind of mental strength do I have to develop to make sure that I'm able to handle fame when it comes? So in my mind, I have to make sure that I'm physically strong, emotionally strong, and mentally strong, because there's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of new energies that I'm not used to dealing with that are going to come with this newfound status. I really wanted to make sure that I was not only developing, the physical stuff, my fitness, my instrument, but also my mind, and making sure that that's growing as well. Didn't really give myself a timeline per se. I didn't get that detailed, but I just wrote down stuff that I knew I needed to work on, things that I could kind of track the progress on and make sure that I'm getting better by the year, by the month, by the week, by the day, to make sure that I'm becoming the best possible version of myself. And that's what my mentality was after graduating from college. All right, if I'm going to take this music thing seriously, then I need to work on these things. I know what I need to work on, and I need to be brutally honest with myself. As an artist, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Why do you want to do this? What is your purpose? I know for me, my reasoning is going to be much different from your reasoning, right? Because we're two different people, we have two different goals, we have different situations that we're coming from. So you have to figure out why you're doing it, and that is what is going to fuel you to get into this industry and to reach your goals. So this is how deep it has to get. This is how deep it's gotten for me. I don't know if this is something that'll work for you as well, but for me, I really had to make sure that every little penny I make goes towards music. So what I started doing was I started setting aside 10 to 20% of each of my paychecks and putting it towards like a reserve, a cash reserve. And that reserve was to be used for vocal lessons or piano lessons or renting out space so I could practice choreography. It got to the point where I stopped getting my hair done because it was too expensive for one. Coming out of college, like all the college money stops. So I needed to find ways to save money anyway. I stopped getting my hair done. I don't like going to the nail salon anyway, so that saves me money. I don't really go out to eat much. I'd rather stay home and cook. And all of that extra money that I didn't spend on crazy things like that, I was using all that extra money and putting it towards something that would help build my craft. Now, because of my college degree, I learned how to engineer, be an audio engineer. So I was fortunate enough, blessed enough to come out of college and be able to work out of different studios. And I have a home studio that I'm at right now. Y'all have seen the logo for it, Rich Productions, here in Marietta. But so I don't, lucky for me, it's kind of it's a cool exchange because I don't pay for studio time, so I save money in that respect. Made the decision to have roommates so I could save money, paying for video shoots, paying people to do my photography, my music videos for me, paying people to mix things for me, paying for beats. This stuff is really expensive, and then paying for outfits when I have to go to shows. And you also have to take into consideration the gas money that it takes. I'm a girl, so I have to buy makeup, I have to get my hair done, I have to make sure that my outfit is right. So for me, it's like full immersion into becoming an artist. I realize that it's going to take a lot of work, and I realize that it's not going to just happen overnight. It has to be consistency on my part. If I'm not being consistent, then I'm going to fall to the wayside. So that's what, you have to think of as an artist. How committed are you? How badly do you really want it? You can say you want it, but if you're not putting in the work, if you're not even taking the time to think about how you can make it a reality, then maybe this isn't for you. And I hope that hearing me talk about certain things that I've cut out of my life or my train of thought on how I want to spend my money, I hope that helps you a little bit and gives you an idea of how committed you have to be. Now, if you come from a family with money and they can throw money at you to do this, that's great, that's perfect. It definitely helps to have money. But if you're like me, I have to work my ass off to do anything, really. I'm not rich. I struggle like everybody else. But I make do with what I do have, and I'm investing in me. That's how I look at it. So I got this quote from, I don't know, like Instagram or Facebook or something. If you want what you've never had, you have to do what you've never done. So a lot of people who are my age, I feel like they're worrying about the wrong things. I'm not like everybody else. I don't want the typical 9 to 5. I know that that's not the life I want, so I'm doing things now, and I'm only 23 years old. I'm doing things now, sowing those seeds, so later on everything will grow together and I will reap everything I've sown, right? At least that's the hope, that's the plan. That's what I'm preparing for. I'm getting myself ready for that level, and it takes a different mentality than from what people around me are doing. And I've gotten to the point where if there are negative people around me, I don't want to be around those negative people because that negative energy is going to bring me down. Although sometimes it makes for great songs, and I write amazing songs from negative situations. But I'm not going to keep negative people or negative energies around me. So I'm very guarded in that sense. I'm not going to spend my money on dumb things because I could be spending it to invest in my artistry and my development. I'm willing to give up certain luxuries that everybody else thinks is necessary, but it's really not. I say all of this to say that you really have to sit down and put a great amount of thought into why you want this and why you want to do this. If you don't know why you want it, or if this is just something that you have partial interest in, it's just a hobby for you, how can you expect to be successful? Like this is a job like everything else. Just because it doesn't look like the typical 9-to-5 we're taught to prepare for, it doesn't mean it's any less difficult. There are so many different struggles that come with deciding to be an artist. So you really be brutally honest with yourself and be self-aware of who you are and how you can improve, what you need to do to get better, what you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be. That's really what it's about. Take a lot of thought before embarking on this journey. It is a journey. I haven't even scratched the surface yet, and I know it's gonna be some ish. But I hope through all of this rambling that you've learned something from me. If you feel lost on anything, ask me some questions. Let me know if you want to know anything more about my journey, anything about me personally. Again, I'm an open book. I don't mind answering questions. That's what I'm here for. That's why I started this channel, because I want to help people who are interested in taking this route as well. Me helping you is not going to take away from my success, I promise. We'll make it there together. But if you have any more questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and joining me for another session. Again, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like this, you have to subscribe and make sure you click on that little bell so that you can get notifications when I post new videos. And yeah, I hope this helped. Until next time, peace.
To helping an artist build this sound from scratch, I normally ask them if they have any experience or who their inspirations are. Some people will say they have a soulful sound or they like the rap sing vibe. So we take that and then we just build onto that and make it your sound. Seeing the artists drive their work ethic, it inspires me and it makes me want to be more engaged and work with them even more.